right. I think we're all about ready. Good Lord. How's it going, everybody? I'll try and keep the background audio a little quieter this time. I know someone was complaining about it last time. Calm yourselves, chat. Calm yourselves. I see there's a lot going on. You guys, relax. We're talking about Halo today. We're talking about Halo Combat Devolved. I'm probably not the first person to make that joke, right? Like, surely someone else has. Wow. What a what a fucking shit show. How's my connection, by the way? I totally forgot. I was supposed to let me actually I wonder if I can quick do that during the stream. I was really unhappy with the bit rate for I was really unhappy with the bit rate last time. It's probably not really an issue. It shouldn't be too much of an issue if I'm just talking, but I feel like it's probably going to be bad if we're trying to show gameplay. Not that it matters. Halo SPV 3.2. It really is. You know what? Some goobers were on Twitter talking about how CE Anniversary wasn't as bad anymore. You know what? I'm thinking the same way towards SPV3. I'm like, man, I really trashed you, which to be fair is deserved. But man, that's rough. That was really rough. That was a rough reveal. So for those who weren't here last week, we went over a lot of our predictions. We had a lot of predictions. And I went a little overboard. I think someone on Twitter commented that I went way overboard with what I was expecting for the shit 343 would try to pull. There was a lot. So one of the big things that we didn't get is we only got one game announcement. Ecker, no mention of it. No mention of Ecker at all. Which I don't know. I don't know if I'd go so far as to say that's an indication that it's not happening. But I will say that also might be an indication that this is not happening for 2026. Which I think I commented on that, how the rumors were both of these games were slated for 2026. I pointed out that doesn't really make sense for a company to release two Halo games in the same year. My theory was that Eckers would come first, and then we would get the Halo CE remake, which... What a name, by the way. Campaign Evolved. Campaign Evolved. What a fucking weird title. To obviously clog up SEO, make it hard to look for Halo CE now. But... Wow. Wow, this last like 48 hours has been wild with how just intentionally stupid people have been acting, with how like just how much cope has been running rampant. It has been unbelievable. It's been interesting. I've not seen this reaction since the Halo Infinite demo. I have not seen the Halo community in free fall this badly before. I think we'll put on a little bit of background music. Put on the Myth. Oh, that's loud. Put on the Myth Fallen Lords soundtrack, just because it calms me down. It helps us go through the cope. Helps us look through the lies and the deceit. Helps us find the truth. It has been funny seeing people like Marty and Jamie Griesmer on Twitter just like shitting on it like openly. Marcus Leto seemed positive. I noted that. He seemed pretty positive about the remake. Griesmer was not. Jamie was like going at it. He was nitpicking all the levels because he designed them. He's like one of the primary level and gameplay designers for Halo. So he seemed a little upset at some of the changes. And there were like there were like midwits in his Twitter comments, like trying to like 343 shills trying to dunk on him, saying you don't know what you're talking about, you're stupid. It's like that's the guy who made Halo. You're talking to the guy who made Halo, telling him that he doesn't know about Halo. Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up, Slade. So a lot of Halo YouTubers really got shafted this weekend. So very first thing, I got to figure out how we're gonna mark which predictions came true. I think just like highlighting in green. I think. So this happened much earlier. Those creators were a lot of the creators were flown out to Halo Studios. They were flown out to Epstein's Island, but not all of them. It was all like, I was looking through some of them too. I was looking through some of the people who were actually flown out to Halo Studios, and there were some weird names. There was so like I think Jack Frags was one of them. That doesn't look good. You know, I'll just do like a green highlight. Jack Frags was one of them. But there were like a bunch of no names. I was looking through some of the people who actually did get flown out, like, or the people who actually got to participate at some of the demos, and it's like people I've never heard of before. Maybe that's just me. So I don't know how we should do this. I don't know if we should watch through the demo first, if we should look through. I made a little playlist. Echoes in the courtyard. But we may as well. We may as well look through. We can do the trailer, and then we can go through the. We can kind of do a little bit of an analysis. I don't know how long today's stream is going to be. I didn't think last week's stream was ever going to reach more than an hour, and we went for 3 hours. So I'm going to try and not go for too long, because like, come on, we have places to be. We're out grinding. I don't know why I said that. How do I do this? How do I think I do this? Oh, wait a minute. I think it's gonna work. Oh, it's all like weirdly cropped. Oh, because originally I was gonna try using this for like, I was gonna try writing my predictions in like a Google Doc, and I very quickly realized that wouldn't work. All right. So this is just the first trailer. By the way, they fucked up the reveal. They were supposed to do it on the live stream, and they just uploaded it. So all the goobers watching the boring Halo MLG live stream had no idea that the trailers were out. Which is pretty funny. They need to leave CE alone. By the way, how's this coming through on the bit rate? I'm curious to know. I've never worked with YouTube streaming, so I don't know how bad the bitrate can look. Okay, I'm looking at playback. It looks pretty good. It doesn't look too not amazing. So it's gonna be hard to do like graphics to do graphics analysis. By the way, I hope you guys just saw that. Here, let's go frame by frame. I think this was the shot. Keep an eye on the little metal tower. Hold on, I don't think my cursor's not captured. There we go. Keep an eye on this little doohickey over here, because this was pretty funny. So, I guess I'm thinking of the gameplay trailer. There was texture flickering in this. I don't know if I'm the only one who caught that. There is texture filtering. There are texture bugs in their giant Halo game reveal. We can now. I shouldn't be doing this for the short trailer. I'll now analyze the actual gameplay demo. But wow, there's a lot. There's a lot to look at. I'm shocked they went with the classic Warthog design. I am as shocked as everybody else that they didn't do the god awful Halo 4 put, you know, the 4 jerry cans at the back design. I'll let this play. I have a lot of thoughts. So hunters aren't insta kill with the Magnum anymore. They're showing a lot of driving.
Give them hell, Chief.
I'm not feeling this design. Like, I don't know how you I don't know how you fuck up the Mark V. But I don't know what they're trying to do here. Like he's too greebly, if that's a word to use. There's too many little bits sticking off of him. He's not quite as smoothed out as he looked originally. Like, this just looks like a Halo Infinite skin. I think that's why people are constantly saying like, "Oh, it's just a Halo Infinite model." He really does look like a this looks like an armor skin. This screenshot right here looks like something I would see in the Halo Infinite Microsoft Funbucks shop. So there's a better demo. I think we'll watch the demo first, then we'll do the round table, because there's a lot to go over. We're gonna be nitpicky through all of this as well. So these are pre-rendered. These are all pre-rendered cutscenes. These aren't actual in-engine. I think that's what's been confirmed. Like, these aren't being rendered in-game. Good God! Look at the tree popping. Look at the trees just all slowly popping in. I don't know if that's tree popping or if that's shadow popping, because I'm noticing there's a lot of lighting bugs in this demo. There we go. Look at this. Would you look at this? Look at this fucking thing. Just not staying still. It's like, look how much this flickers. Look how much this is flickering. It's because they're using Unreal Engine 5's like pre-built lighting reflection shader. Nintendo, hire this man. That is the thumbnail. I'm glad people were appreciating my thumbnail design. Yeah. So, I have some theories. About this. People have been talking about the design, the Forerunner redesign. I hate UE5. Man, you know what? When we were doing the podcast, I think Pat came up with he had a hypothetical of like how the games industry will crash. It's going to be everyone switching to Unreal Engine 5 and then Epic going out of business. A part of me kind of hopes that might happen. A part of me hopes that the fucking Unreal Engine fad just dies. But yeah, like completely different redesign to Forerunner architecture. I wish I could do some comparison shots. I was thinking of loading up Combat Evolved as well. But I don't know what they're doing. I don't know why. I take that back. I have a theory. By the way, this freaked me out when I was watching the trailer. I thought like a body had like glitched across the screen. They animated these they animated these fucking bullet casings to look like, I don't know, to just mess with you. Like, look how they just judder around like that. I understand they're trying to make it look cool. Maybe slow it down a bit so it doesn't look like your gameplay is just flickering. Anyway, I'll bring chat. I'll move chat away just so it doesn't. You guys aren't blocking this screen from time to time. I've had a theory, an overarching theory about all of this. I think we'll get to that once we get to the hatch. They're redesigned for that. There it is. They're sprinting. So there's been a lot of cope. There's been a lot of sprinting cope. Here's the thing I never understand. It's almost like the tables have been turned, where Halo fans, old school Halo fans, have to explain why we don't need sprinting. I wish one of these fucking shills, I'm going to say shill, in lieu of saying another word that I know I can't say on YouTube. none of them have explained why we need sprinting. It's always the other way around, is we have to explain why a game that didn't have sprinting works without sprinting. It looks awful. Like, at least, like, make a... If you're doing sprinting, do a cool animation, at least. Like, what is this? Why is Chief running like a little baby? I love his arms just kind of like, ugh, I'm running. But no, they're sprinting. Assault rifle. I was looking... I don't know if this is just me. I think, first off, it's the hit markers. I'm realizing right now it's the hit markers. This gameplay is really reminding me of Halo 4. It really is. Like, the way the assault rifle looks, it looks like the Halo 4 assault rifle. Yeah, people have been complaining about the assault rifle design. I'll level with you. This is the least problematic thing of this entire trailer. We'll show something more problematic. Yeah, and someone pointed out Magnum looks very Magnum with how it behaves feels very Halo Reach. Like the way it takes like a couple shots. It's not like a good instant kill. It's like a couple shots at least. Halo 5 sprint. I saw people pointing that out, the Halo 5 sprint. So they have the Halo Reach plasma pistol, which I disliked. I even disliked it during Halo Reach. I loved the classic Halo trilogy plasma pistol with just a smooth, without this little greeble thing, or the hologram, just a smoothed out, simple little plasma pistol. I love the design. I love the Halo 1 design, classic and timeless. But no, we got to make it look all flashy and modern. People have been trying to place where these elites are from because there's a lot of asset reusing. We'll get to that once we see the Needler. But yeah, it looks rough. It really looks rough. That Magnum animation is choppy as fuck. I do also want to point out, I don't know if he dropped his... Yeah, he dropped his assault rifle. Look at the muzzle flash for the assault rifle. Look at this. That is pathetic. I understand it, like, okay, realistically, yes, it is a ballistic firearm is something where the flash is virtually impossible to capture truly to you know, a visual medium, because it occurs so fast it's hard to capture within, you know, a frame. And I also understand things like movies and such have exaggerated how muzzle flashes look. I understand all of that. That being said, this just looks bad. Everyone knows the classic Halo 1 assault rifle, just beautiful, beautiful muzzle flash. Not there. It's not here. There is blood. I'm noticing there's blood. Glowing blood, too. And that's another thing as well. So this is M rating. That was one of my predictions as well, is that they wouldn't try and do a teen rating for this. Because they can't. With the Flood, they may as well go all out. I'm not noticing a lot of blood for the other enemies. Only just the grunts. Irks me from what's been shown so far. Just a lot of the guns feel very weak. They don't quite feel. They don't feel as weighty or as impactful as they did in Halo 1. But yeah, I was shocked. We're getting a somewhat classic looking Warthog design. I hate the 343 redesign with the jerry cans on the back. I always thought that looked way too gaudy. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I think the reason they got rid of that is because there's supposed to be a fourth player sitting back here. In hindsight, I think that's the only reason they got rid of it. By the way, the Marine designs, we don't get any good Marine design close-ups. These are just straight up. They look, I don't want to say quite Halo Reach, but they look there. They look like heavily modified Halo Reach Marines.
I've been able to pinpoint the main facility by cross-referencing Covenant survey data and religious texts. We were right. It's
Here's the Windows 10 starting screen right here. Just driving right through it. I got to be ready to pause on certain stuff. So one thing I'm noticing, the Warthog I don't know how to feel about the Warthog physics. It doesn't quite move as it did in Halo 1, which I understand. Like, okay, their vehicle physics have improved a long way since Halo 1. But I'm also talking about just like weightiness. Like it doesn't glide the way the Halo 1 Warthog did. It seems a little jittery. I don't know if that's just me. It really looks like the Halo Infinite driving physics. It looks like they got that working in Unreal.
The cliff wall. The silent cartographer is somewhere inside that facility. They're already inside.
Also, look at that. Look at that turret. So
Somewhere inside that facility.
overheated turrets overheating, I think, is a fair guess what that is.
They're already inside. We have to get in there and stop them before they learn the location of the control center.
Look at these reflections. Look at this. This isn't the stream, by the way. This is the game. So looks like they added like a bit of a heat wave effect. The plasma rifle. But look at its reflections though. Look at that. Kind of I assume maybe this is real time. Is this real time reflections? It's hard to say. Look how I like how it just flickers out of existence for a frame. Is that? That's the one thing I've noticed with this whole demo is it looks rough. The lighting looks rough. This whole room, the whole interior area. I was trying to watch it as they revealed it, and it was hard to see. Like I was trying to stare at my computer screen, like what am I looking at? Like I don't know. The lighting feels very contrasty, a little too contrasty for Halo. At least for classic Combat Evolved. Guessing there's ray tracing? I don't know. This is supposed to run on an Xbox and a PS5.
My analysis indicates that the map room should be at the bottom floor of this facility.
Look at that. Look at just the light flow. Look how he walks past these stairs, which by the way, that's not compression. That is how the stairs just look. All weird and blurry. Look how the lights just like flicker out. Like what? Can you guys like run this again? Just like, hey, this is our first reveal. Like all those little lighting bugs, let's get rid of those. Do another pass. Do a second pass. But yeah, this iconic part of Combat Evolved. I'll kind of skip through a lot of it. Very dark. I'm noticing a lot of the Forerunner interiors are very dark. Look at that. It was dark in the original, but it wasn't fucking pitch black. AI generated textures. We'll get to AI generation in a sec, but look at this lighting. So they are using Unreal Engine 5's like built-in global illumination. Look at this. Look at that. It's rough. It is very rough looking. By the way, that's in the video. That's not the stream lagging right there. That frame drop right there. That's in their fucking YouTube video that they released on their channel. This is directly from Halo's channel, by the way. All the gameplay videos that I'm showing today have been uploaded directly by them. So I think I'm noticing. I think they are trying to use real-time reflections. That's why the reflections all look like shit. It's not cube mapped, as a lot of older games used to do, and it looked fine. Older games that used pre-baked reflections, I always thought they looked fine. Look at that. Look at the way the reflection here. This like little island jutting out. As he goes past the rock, you can see it just kind of fades in. Look at that. Ugh. I know I'm the weird one here, chat. I know I'm the weird guy who likes older graphics. I understand that. Man, this has brought out the worst of just completely. I don't. We need a word for people who are color illiterate. We need a word for people who just can stare at a painting and have zero understanding of why a painting is, you know, a certain color or composed a certain way. This is the part. Already we see a problem here. You're not supposed to drive a Warthog up here because that ruins the gameplay. The developers, they designed the island so that there was a ring around the outside for you to drive around, but on the inside, you had to get on foot. Someone didn't quite get the memo. I wonder how that conversation went. I wonder, do you genuinely would it genuinely have been some dork at 343 thought like, oh, they accidentally placed these rocks too close together. Let's remove them. A part of me thinks they didn't even account for that. I'm starting to think maybe they didn't account for it, and whoever's playtesting, whoever's doing this demo, just decided to try it. And no one thought, hey, let's not do that. Let's not show... For our gameplay reveal, let's not show a player breaking the level. I am shocked, by the way. I'm shocked at how much they're trying to mirror one-to-one. I was... As people said, I was expecting a lot more for a remake. I was expecting like Dead Space levels, like certain arenas that were identical but interconnected pathways that were very different. To be fair, we've only seen this one area. I have a theory about that as well. But yeah, we're just kind of going through the motions here. This whole area looks like it's been... Lighting's weirdly different. This area was kind of shaded, but it feels... They added like too much vegetation. I don't know. It feels a little more claustrophobic. Not quite as open as it did before. But yeah, just hunter section kind of ruined when you have just a guy driving a Warthog up to them. Kind of ruins the tension as a lone player walking into an arena. Oh, there's two hunters. What do I do? Luckily, I got my Magnum. I don't quite like how the shields look, the Jackal shields. I know I'm just basically nitpicking, which I will. I've seen so many people fucking hype this game up. I'm gonna, out of spite, nitpick everything. They blend in a little too much. I wish they were a little brighter, a little more contrasty. Or in the original, they stood out a bit more. It was what made the Jackals cool. You knew you were shooting at a Jackal because they were the guys with the glowing shields. It's whatever. It's really not. It's really bad. More driving. Once again, the driving looks to be a little more Infinite-ified. The Warthog in Infinite moved a little more. It felt like it was magnetized to the ground. Like it felt like you couldn't quite flip over, or you couldn't. It was hard to drift. Didn't feel as weighty. So this is one of my big problems. Is the light balance is rough. It's like pitch fucking black. There's zero color. This area, once it gets past the hunters, this area had like a bit of a tan shade, a little bit of a bronze, not too much, maybe more beige, I'd say. You can kind of see a little bit there, but like this, I don't know. I am actually shocked at how much the Forerunner designs just look very different. I thought they were learning their lesson with Infinite. But no, they've kind of just reneged on that, and they're going back to their glossy, metallic corridors. Look at this. Look how everything like pops in. Look at the flickering. Like, can you guys look at this at least once or twice? Look how his textures slowly pop in. It's like, come on. Come on, Halo Studios. You guys know better. Good. Also, by the way, what I should be doing as well. I wanted to make like comparisons. But oh god, I got people on my Twitter trying to pick fights. Let's see. I had a good comparison shot. This guy's ripped from Infinite, by the way. This is a Halo Infinite Elite, just straight up. I wish I had I'm looking for the photo, the comparison photo. Because when I say that, you think like, okay, maybe they're redesigning the Halo Infinite. Maybe they're redesigning the Gold Elite to look a little bit more like Halo Infinite. No, it is straight up the Halo Infinite Zealot Elite. Let me see if I can get a good photo. Yeah, here we go. This is so rough. I'm shocked. I'm shocked people aren't pointing this out as much as they should be. Medkit's missing. I noticed that. So regenerated health. I didn't even think about that. That was part of my prediction that I didn't even think about. Um, yeah, it's just him. It's just his armor. I think what they're doing is they're very clearly adjusting some things to make it look a little better in Unreal. Make the lighting look a little better, because that was the one thing I noticed with Infinite is how bad models are textured or lit in that game. I talked all. It's almost like I made a 2-part review about it. But yeah, it's just straight up the Halo Infinite elites. Pretty shocking, honestly. I want to see if we'll see the Needler again. Because everyone's been dunking on the Needler. No one pointed out how it's literally the Halo Infinite Needler. I've seen 0 people comment about that. But it's just the lighting is rough. They can't do pre-baked lighting. Cause I'm realizing this now. It's the reason it's dark is because they only have these like designated light sources. Like whatever they're using for Unreal Engine 5, they can't get like pre-baked lighting. Like a level that just looks, a certain way. It has to be dynamically lit. I see someone asking for a Discord. I am occasionally on Pat's Discord, his server. So if you ever want to chat, you can find me there. I'm hesitant to create my own Discord for the Bunker Dweller community because I do not have the time or willpower to manage all of you animals. I'm kind of like a drifter. I hang around in other people's communities. Where's the flashlight? I noticed that as well. No flashlight. I was going to say maybe it's a button that the guy just didn't press, but I'm realizing it now. We can see all the buttons on screen. We can literally see all the buttons. Not one of them for a flashlight. So maybe it's there. Maybe it's not. Who knows? It'd be pretty useful with how dark some of these environments are. But yeah, it in hindsight, it really does look how a 343 remake would look. Not with the level of authenticity as you might expect for a high budget remake. Kind of lazy in some aspects. Clearly not an understanding of composition or colors. Very lots of yellow lighting, lots of orange and brown, which is very much the Unreal Engine 5 like pre-baked lighting. Not as bright as the OG. Okay, so apparently it is in there, just not shown in the demo. A little weird, but yeah. Skybox as well. What's up with those clouds? Why are those clouds so low res? What is that? Are they trying to do volumetric clouds? That's the only explanation I would have. Like, why are those clouds so low res? Why? Those are like lower res than the original. Whatever. Yeah, the assault rifle. It really does. To me, it really does remind me of the Halo 4 assault rifle. Even with the sound effects too. All the sound effects feel very Halo 5, Halo Infinite-ish. Which is to say a little generic. Here we go. He tried to do the reveal shot, but didn't quite work. So the ring looks a little... I don't know how the proportions of the ring. They're going slightly different proportions. Maybe a little more realistic, I guess. It just doesn't look as good though. It doesn't look sharp. I think that's my biggest complaint is it looks like flickery and blurry. Look at this, by the way. This isn't me. This is the video. That is an actual frame drop in the video as he goes down to the new area. And then they cut this part because they clearly don't have this part of the level rendered or finished. Even in the demo that they were showing people, this part is where it ends. Uh, yeah. Like 90 in the OG. FOV. I assume they'll have an FOV slider. They better. Look, guys, we're recreating the cinematics of the original. I love every single time the camera cuts, all the lighting. Because what it is, I'm realizing what it is, that the Unreal Engine does not use pre-baked lighting for a lot of it. It uses a lot of dynamic lighting, but that's lighting that has to be, that's like a shader that has to be compiled. If you ever run a UE5 game, you'll always notice that it takes like a few minutes at the beginning to compile shaders. So that's why when you cut between different positions like that, there's no time for the lighting to render. So it has to quick adjust. So are we going to be dealing with that the entire game? Is this going to be a consistent thing in the remake? Is that going to be happening all the time? God damn. Campaign evolved. PC, Xbox, and PS5. They did a roundtable discussion, but I think we'll look at that in just a sec. First things, let's do some of our predictions here. So I did get a decent amount of stuff wrong. There was stuff that I was predicting that I thought might happen, but didn't end up happening, or at the very least we've yet to see. Like maybe we're not going to see it quite yet. But let's kind of go down the list here. So I don't know exactly where to start. I guess we can start going through like some of the stuff in game, like actual game features. I feel is a good place to start. So we were right about pretty much all of this. Single player online, or single player only, no online features. This I was wrong about. I thought there would be no co-op. No co-op or split screen. I was fully thinking like, oh, this is going to be a like a kind of like a Resident Evil, or Dead Space, the type of game that is super scripted, tons of cinematics, tons of QuickTime events. Would not work for a co-op campaign, but apparently it does. Trying to see. I'm trying to figure out how to do a dash through. I don't use OpenOffice for these features. I don't know how. But yeah, I was fully expecting them to make an announcement. They're like, oh hey, by the way, there's no there's no split screen whatsoever. Apparently there is. It's 2-player split screen and it's 4-player co-op, and that's partially why I guess we will have to watch the roundtable right after this. No, that doesn't work. Nope. Give me a sec, chat. I'm trying to sorry, I'm messing with stuff. Remember, Microsoft changed. You charged $60 for ODST when it came out. That I'm shocked about as well. I got that wrong. I was thinking $70. I was fully thinking a $70 remake. God, what is the fucking strike through button for OpenOffice? There we go. So there is online co-op. I'll do like little addendums. I'm curious to know how it's going to work. 2-player split screen running on Unreal Engine 5. Have they tested that? Has that been tested yet? I think I've heard confirmation. Is this $50, right? $50. Failed to use OpenOffice award. I don't use it for formatting like this. I use it to like type emails or write stuff. I guess big budget. It's big budget, but it's not. It wasn't $70. That was my mistake. I thought for sure they're going to try and push $70. They're going to try and push this to be the next big thing. I think they will push it to be the next big thing, but it's not as expensive as I would think. Cinematic reinterpretation of Halo CE, kind of. This I don't know. There's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. I'll do like lots of stuff that we don't quite know yet. We know that there are very linear, very cinematic. I was thinking full on like Sony PS4, PS5 movie game, which I feel I might be wrong about. I feel they are just straight up going to do a full on Halo 1-to-1 remake. I want to say they have announced a price, unless I have been seeing bad info. I want to say it was $50. It's on Steam. And I guess no price has been posted yet. So I guess it could be. I guess it could be $70. In which case, I'll retract that. If I don't know for sure, I don't want to quite make confirmation. Also, I think I'm going to stop doing this formatting because that's just going to take a lot of work. We're going to be here all day. This I might be wrong about. If it's once again, there's stuff that we don't know. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know. We've seen a like less than a 13-minute gameplay demo. You did not just say it would be faithful. I meant 1-to-1. I don't think that what I thought they were going to do is I thought they were going to fully overhaul the game. I thought they were going to do a straight up like we have redesigned entire levels, which they still could do. But from the sounds of it, they don't seem interested in making like mostly a reimagining. A reimagining with visuals at least, but not for the actual level design itself. I also thought it might be a pseudo open world because that's the in thing. We were spitballing. We were spitballing last week. Regards to it being remake, all the levels will be overhauled. This I think is wrong. Once again, it's hard to say, but I think for the most part, it's safe to say that was a overestimation. But a bunch of recognizable areas are definitely remade 1-to-1. They even showed off Silent Cartographer. I still think they might redesign some areas. Who knows? This one is iffy. Because what I was thinking that the interconnected corridors between certain arenas would be completely unrecognizable, to the point where it would be hard to do 1-to-1 comparisons. But no, apparently it looks like they are adjusting some of the corridors to like play differently, as we saw the Warthog section. But yeah, it was, I don't know. There's a lot to be seen, a lot that we still have not seen, and I think they're going to be very coy about what we're going to see for the next year. Maybe they'll recast Johnson. That was another thing I was wrong about. I thought full-on new voice actors. To be fair, we only know a couple of them are still with us. We only know it sounded like that was Pete Stacker. It's either way, whoever it was sounded just like Pete Stacker. I'm assuming it's the same guy. I thought they would fully recast at least Master Chief, maybe Cortana, but no. Looks like they Brought them back. They sound 20 years older. Performances will be subdued, possibly photo scans of real actors. Still don't know. We haven't seen Keys. We haven't seen Johnson. Who knows what it's going to look like. Performances in that demo were very subdued. It did not sound like the classic Halo performances. It definitely felt a little different. And there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know about quite yet. That's kind of why we're going down the list here. I'm positive I heard Pete Stacker. You hear Keys very briefly, and so I think it's safe to say they will bring back Pete Stacker. And there's a lot that we can't really answer here as well. Again, I went overboard with predictions. Gameplay will be different. Oh boy, was I underestimating that. I was a little off of what I thought it would be. I was thinking something a little more Last of Us-y. I was thinking like slower and more like awkward. If you imagine kind of like a Red Dead Redemption 2 or like a Max Payne 3, I think is another good example. You take like snappy movement, but then you make it a little slower, a little more cinematic looking. I was not expecting it to just be Halo Infinite. I was not expecting it to be Halo Infinite. Yep. I was predicting we would still have sprint fully. ADS. I think there's I noticed that there were a lot of scopes. There are a lot of weapon scopes in the demo. Here, I think he uses it with the Needler once. Let me check. I've seen some gameplay where it looked like he zoomed in with either a Needler or a plasma pistol. God, that Needler design is so ugly looking. We'll get back to that. Don't worry. We're going through predictions first, and then we're gonna have fun talking about the cope. Don't you guys worry. Yeah, there we go. So even the Needler has a scope now, which tells me that a lot of the other weapons might have scopes as well. So not quite. I wouldn't say quite ADS. But definitely up there. Potentially ADS. We'll do like a little bit of a highlight, not fully. Visuals. Oh boy. Was I underestimating the visuals? Oh my god. But wow, this game, it's just not there. It really needed. They needed a cleaning up. The visuals just were not there. So bland mixed with Unreal Engine 5. Kind of like the Oblivion remakes. These were leaks that were coming out. I wasn't coming up with these on the fly. I was just taking all the rumors that I heard. DLSS, RTX. We don't quite know this yet. I think it's safe to say, though, that's probably going to be the case. Realistic UE5, basic bitch art style. Too much bloom. Brown smog. Lack of colors. No real distinct art style. Just realism. And we still don't know about Cortana. We don't know how she's going to look. I was tempted to do a poll last week. We were predicting on what color she would be. And some of the leaked concept art, she is blue. So we are not getting purple Cortana. I was tempted to make that prediction that we wouldn't get purple Tana. But looks like we're getting blue. Music will be fully remade. This was pretty easy. They don't want to mention O'Donnell or Salvatore, but they are going to steal their music. So, rated M for The Flood. We saw a brief shot of The Flood in the roundtable discussion. We'll get to that. Just for PC, Xbox, PS5, no Switch. Again, this isn't stuff that was that hard to predict. We all kind of knew this. I'm not a prophet here. Might be delayed to 2027. I'm still on the fence for this. Here's why I'm on the fence for this. We have seen This is a year to release. We have seen only this one mission, this one part, not even the full mission, this one part of Silent Cartographer, from when you touch down to right before you go inside. That's all we have seen. All the trailers, all the behind the scenes, the roundtable discussion. Which, you know what? Let's do that. Let us look at the roundtable discussion, because I feel there's some stuff to talk about there. Roundtable reveal. You think Actman is... I think Actman, he knows his audience. I think he knows what makes him, what videos his audience like. And I'll leave it at that. Oh my god. But yeah, we've only seen gameplay of this one section. I think these are probably like shots taken from the same demo that we just watched.
Halo CE campaign remake.
We'll skip ahead here.
Xbox, PC, and for the first time, PlayStation. It'll be arriving next year. To talk more about it, we've got
Here we go.
Dan,
Here's the
Zach,
Legion of Doom.
and Greg from the development team. Guys, let's get into this. Why is this the right game for right now?
We did this work on Halo Anniversary. I felt like there were certain things that were left unsaid. There were certain things that we weren't able to achieve at that time. There were certain things we weren't able to do.
They're trying to throw CE Anniversary under the bus. They're trying to say, like, listen, we knew this was bad, but this time we'll do better.
Revisit Combat Evolved for new players, for established Halo players, and maybe even for old friends playing on different hardware today.
Man, I hope they make a vidoc. I hope they make a behind the scenes again. We didn't quite get that for Halo Infinite, which made me really sad. The Halo, I highly recommend everybody watch the Halo 5 behind the scenes. It is a fascinating insight into that company.
Established Halo players, and maybe
I'm trying to see. Because look at all the background gameplay. It's all Silent Cartographer.
For new players, for established Halo players.
So that's all they're
We got to
showing.
the Halo ring again for the first time.
Which tells me that we only have that part of the game made. It's telling me that the rest of the game is in such an unfinished state that they don't even want to tease it. They don't even want to show it.
The first time is really important, and then be surprised.
Which makes me worried if they're trying to aim for 2026. It's like, where's the rest of the game? Are you guys going to develop an entire rest of Halo
For new players,
in
this
12
is the
months?
right time
Look at
for you to jump in.
Look at that shot. They can't even do... Look at all the popping.
This is
All the
the
lighting
right
popping.
time
It
for you
just
to jump
looks
in.
bad.
This as your introduction into this
Okay,
huge
we're haters.
franchise we've
We're
been
haters
working
here,
for
chat.
The past 25 years.
Only haters allowed.
I'm curious how you're going to focus on capturing the essence of the original.
Look at that. Like you can literally, if you can see the brown, you can see the tan, the gaudy lighting versus just the crisp clearness.
Knowing that you need to
It's
evolve
fascinating.
the experience forward.
Yeah, from design, we don't take that lightly at all.
Good God, look at that.
Evolve to kind
It's
of move the
just
experience
hilarious. It's hilarious to see just the complete contrast.
Take that lightly at all. Whenever we make a change, the number one thing was to be true to the original game.
forward. For every one of those
I can't wait, by the way.
At all. Whenever we make a change, the number one thing was to be true to the original game.
I can't wait to keep using that quote throughout my upcoming 3-hour campaign evolved video that I'm going to make in a couple years.
for every one of those topics that comes up, there's someone
I'm glad to know that I have my work
incredibly
cut out for me. I'm
passionate
glad
about
to know that I have
that
another
side,
big
saying
review that I'm
that
eventually
is
going to make.
sacred. We do not move that crate.
I kind of, you know what? I kind of hope this is the last 343 game. This would be such a wonderful game to end my 343 review series on, is just
Looking across
them completely misunderstanding art
what we've learned over the years, what
and
technology we've
composition
built,
and
how we can
colors
tie that back into
and
the
aesthetics
So in
and
this game,
architecture.
up to 4 people can play the campaign together, regardless of
so there we go. So co-op,
which platform
crossplay co-op.
And then we're kicking it old school. We can play 2-player co-op on consoles.
How the fuck is that going to... I'm curious to know the performance. You're running 2 versions of Unreal Engine 5 on a
together, just
console.
like we did back in the original. What do you have to do differently to account now for 4 people running around?
for different co-op counts.
Anyway.
We will make some of the
should
space
have
larger.
been
We
infinite.
also want to make sure we're authentic to the encounters themselves. So it's a balancing act between that difficulty tuning and making those encounters the right size for the right space.
I understand that.
So this is them talking. They're readjusting. So here, I'll speed this up because listening to these goobers talk, I know, is exhausting. But yeah, it's kind of what we predicted. Is they're speeding up. They're adjusting some of the level geometry. Um, but where was it? Yeah, I was thinking the levels might be longer and bigger. We haven't seen it so much with Silent Cartographer. That's why it's hard to make a lot of these predictions. But from what we're understanding, what they're saying,
Special tune-up works to the beloved Warthog.
We have. There's a new seat.
it sounds like that's what they're doing. Also, this is the hilarious part of the Warthog
What I
is
call the golf cart seat or the bumper seat. This is
some poor asshole has to sit on the back of the Warthog because they couldn't figure out how to do that,
on the back of the Warthog, so now you can bring
which is hilarious.
everyone with.
Let's talk a little bit about one of my favorite aspects of the Halo franchise. What is the skull? What's cool about it? What does it do?
The skull is a gameplay modifier. Generally mean-spirited, makes the game more challenging.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll talk about the Forerunner stuff later. There's some comparison photos that we want to look at.
Create that new gameplay experience. Huge amount of replay options for folks.
I love the replayability that skulls bring to a campaign. There's almost endless variety.
We have dozens of skulls this time.
Whatever. So we got skulls. We know it's a Halo game.
Complete this game with
Legendary all skulls. I mean, that'd be really
They're trying to pretend this is an unscripted conversation, but you can tell with all their faces that they know that if this game doesn't sell well, they're all out of a job. I love the 343 behind the scenes because it seems like at any moment one of them might snap. That's my favorite part about all their vidocs.
Do not underestimate them, and they will find your way. So Halo's always been known for its sandbox. How has this evolved?
We made sure that anything we included isn't going
Very
to
artistic, I would say.
change the sandbox in a drastic way, but there's some really fun kind of additions, nuts across, enemies, weapons, vehicles, things that in the original CE weren't able to do before that you now can. You finally killed the elite with the sword.
By the way, that's something as well. I think I got wrong in my prediction. Listen to this.
So Halo's always been known for its sandbox. How has this evolved?
We made sure that anything we included isn't going to drastically change the way the game plays. We changed the sandbox in a drastic way, but there's some really fun kind of additions, nuts across, enemies, weapons, vehicles, things that in the
So additions.
original CE you weren't able to do before that you now can.
So we've confirmed, by the way, that's an energy sword.
And you finally killed the elite with the sword.
You get the energy sword. I've heard confirmation. This is only through other YouTubers. I've not seen them say this outright. That they are adding 9 new weapons, including the sword, the fuel rod gun, and I've also heard mention of the battle rifle is showing up, which is very questionable. That's very questionable news if that's to be the case.
That weapon hits the floor and you can pick that
What
up.
the fuck are those clouds? Yo, we talked about the clouds. Don't worry.
Take the enemy.
The sound.
So that's the thing. I was fully predicting like, okay, they're gonna stick with the original weapon layout, the classic Halo loadouts, and even the enemy variety. I was not expecting them to just admit like, oh yeah, we're adding new stuff. Yeah, so I was totally wrong about this. This is my joke for SPV3. Although my prediction mostly revolved around cut content. I saw some people saying like they might add in like all the cut weapons and vehicles from the 99 Macworld prototype. I didn't think it was going to go that far, but I should have predicted like, okay, they're going to bring in like Halo 2, Halo 3 weapons because they can't help themselves.
All these weapons, by the way, have been painstaking.
So let's keep going down the predictions list because I'm getting a lot of stuff. Predictions for Friday. I was wrong about this. I was wrong about the no trailers. I fully was not expecting this many trailers. But we did get a lot of people talking. A lot of B-roll of 343 offices. Prototypes for we did see a lot of prototypes for either game. So I was a little shocked by how much we saw. I was thinking we wouldn't see much. I was thinking it would be a little teaser and it'd be disappointing for everybody, but no, we got the full reveal. And then I was also expecting we might get delayed release dates. And then no mention of Ecker, no mention of the multiplayer title, which is confusing to people. People don't understand that they were working on a multiplayer free-to-play game, or I say free-to-play. I'm guessing a multiplayer live service game. But yeah, people don't seem to realize that because 343 has made zero comment about it. So everyone thinks like, oh, Halo multiplayer is dead, which I think is funny.
Painstakingly remodeled.
Yeah, here we go. Like they're being very coy about what they're showing. Look at us, we're in Unreal Engine 5.
Higher fidelity. How do all these things kind of come to life?
That comes across through the way they look, the way they sound.
Needler. We need to hold on. Everyone's wondering, why does the Needler look this way? What idiot thought, hey, this thing that has its ammo beautifully jutting out of the weapon. The weapon's unique design allows you to see how many rounds you have left. Why would they redesign it so that there's an ammo counter? Is this for like sub 80 IQ people who just can't grasp that these are the rounds that you're firing? Well, apparently it's pretty much the Halo Infinite. Why am I? Hold on, chat. My browser just crashed there. I don't know why it did that. Apparently it is just the Halo Infinite. It's just the Halo Infinite Needler, which I'm kind of shocked by. I'm shocked like they're being this blatant about just how many assets from Halo Reach they are taking, or at the very least they are completely ripping off, which is fascinating to me. But yeah, the design looks ugly. This is the Halo Infinite Neither, by the way. You can immediately see it's the exact same design. Ripped straight from Halo Infinite. You can also see how it looks like the HUD as well. That HUD that they had is fairly identical to the remake as well.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. A little different. I mean, you can see they clearly are updating it a little bit, but it's like, man, look at that. That is aside from some very minor adjustments, that is the same design right there. That is the exact same Needler. Obviously, slightly different colors, slightly different textures, but like design-wise, they just pulled the design from Infinite. They pulled the concept art from Infinite. But yeah. Also, I'm seeing some encoding issue.
Facts, the actual panels on the weapons themselves.
Look at
The
that.
way they sound.
By the way, I think this is them trying to say there was a lot of criticism. I was there on day one for Halo Infinite. There was a lot of criticism for how the weapons all looked like plastic, all flat. If you guys remember, the assault rifle in Halo Infinite had less detail than the Halo Reach assault rifle that it was clearly trying to rip off. So I find that to be very funny. They're very clearly trying to be like, no, look at us guys. We're the exact same. We are fully we are fixing stuff. We're fixing everything. We're fixing our weapons.
Actual panels on the weapons themselves, the ammo counters.
With Unreal, the fully dynamic
lighting within Lumen.
lighting within Lumen allows us to get those effects, right?
So that's why the game looks like shit, is because they're using dynamic, built-in Unreal Engine 5 lighting.
That rich plasma.
The reason this game looks so generic is because it has the exact same lighting engine that every other game using Unreal Engine 5 by default has.
Lighting up and brightening the environment.
Because there is no
Of course, one of the
technical
hallmark
know-how
of Halo
on this
CE
team.
is what becomes kind of a three-way battle with the introduction of the Flood.
There was
So they wouldn't be able to hide the Flood. I knew that. We all knew that.
development between
You can't remake
CE
Halo
and
without the
3
Flood.
to kind of how the Flood behaved and just how they interacted with the player. So we've pulled a lot of those Flood behaviors into this game.
And I would
So there's a little Flood model right there. Look at us. Look at us, guys. We have the Flood. We're bringing the Flood
say
back.
this is a learning specifically from CE to
So that
anniversary.
also, that right there, that's our first
Flood
glance.
behaviors into this game.
And I would say this is a learning specifically from
That's our first glance at Guilty Spark right there.
CE to anniversary.
So that's the Guilty Spark level. Very brief glance at it. Looks like they're going for another redesign. Make it more blue. Wasn't blue enough in the original. We have to add more blue, more moonlight shafts or whatever they're adding. Bright light, whatever.
Anniversary, which is just kind of that mood, the atmosphere, the tension, the horror, and really delivering on that from the way that we stage the encounters and the setup and how we reveal the Flood.
In Halo Legacy, there were some pure form units. We have pulled in a
So they're bringing in
familiar friend,
the pure forms.
familiar fiend.
It says Halo Legacy, which is such a weird way to call it. These guys are from Halo 3 and only Halo 3. I don't know what he's talking about. I guess they don't want to say any other Halo games by name. They're like, oh yeah, they're from the Legacy. It's like, no, you're talking about a game that none of you made. You're talking about remaking a game none of you made and pulling stuff from other games that you also didn't
challenge
make.
the player.
Either way, we're getting flood tanks. We're getting the pure forms. Look at those clouds. Look at that. That is some Microsoft Flight Sim clouds right
how
there.
we're
Jesus.
approaching the narrative aspects to bring it up to the same level as the rest of this game.
We want to tell an authentic story, and we want
Authentic story.
to level up the cinematics from the source.
As we were
God, look at that lighting pop in. Look at that.
as we were building
Look
this
at
out,
that.
we didn't just kind of
Just
coat of paint over the original cinematics. Right?
Adjust
We
it. Make it look a little better.
revisited
Make it look a
exactly
little
how they were
smoother.
blocked out, how they were sequenced, how they were put together.
You have full control for how this reveal is going to look.
Access to original source
Make it look
assets, original
nice.
source code, and access to the original storyboards.
What that tells us is that if you couldn't even fix those little details, then there must be some even worse stuff that you're hiding.
We are
Like, if that's the
remastering,
least of your
remixing
concerns,
music to go
what are
along
we
with
going
the
to expect?
cinematics.
But we also had the core principal cast come in and re-record all the lines.
How much firepower would you need to crack one of the engine sheets?
This really
Poor
provides
Steve
the
Downs. He
degree of
looks old.
fidelity
He
that
looks.
we were able to do for Halo.
Jen Taylor too. They both look tired.
Very good time to leave.
I wonder if you went to them 25 years ago and said, "Hey, you're going to be re-recording these exact same lines 25 years from now." I wonder how they'd react.
I'm super excited that this game will include 3 brand new bonus missions. Tell me a little bit about that.
It was really important that we
So,
took the original
This is interesting. 3 bonus missions.
story as it is.
What the
So
fuck
these
does that mean?
missions specifically are meant to be a prequel, a setup for
A prequel. So they're talking about a prequel. By the way, I'm trying to figure out what this is.
the main core.
Looks kind of like a some sort of Covenant ship.
These new missions are going to offer some
There's Johnston. There's our first view of Johnson. So he's for sure in the game.
new opportunities for character interactions, maybe between Chief and Johnson.
We've got some new mechanics, maybe some AI.
But when he says prequels, I don't know if he's literally meaning here are some levels before the game starts, or if they're just like bonus missions that you can unlock like outside of the main campaign, or if he's talking about different missions that are lead ups to other existing Halo 1 missions. I don't know. I have no fucking idea what he's talking about. They don't clarify it.
Behaviors, things that haven't been done before
Things that haven't been done before. What does that mean?
in Halo CE.
I think we're just getting started.
Do you just mean different AI?
So where are we right now at this stage of development? What can you share with us?
In the past few weeks, we've been able to start engaging and sending builds out to some of our community members.
So this is all the shills got flown out. So that's what he's referring to there.
We can now see
Only some of them though. Not all of them.
so many.
Some people were a little miffed that they didn't get invited to the island.
There's a point in every game's life cycle where it kind of just comes online.
Contact
Really
what?
high fidelity
Contact
visual
Harvest. That's
cinematics,
like 20
elements
years
of the
prior.
sandbox and encounter tweaks and the lighting.
You go to someone's desk.
Look at that. Look at the frame rate in the trailer is dying. Look at that.
Tweaks and the lighting,
Look at that Warthog. Like you can see the Warthog. Like,
elements of the sandbox and encounter tweaks and the lighting.
You go to someone's
could you guys not clean this up? I don't understand. I do not understand just how unoptimized this game is going to be at launch. I don't think we are able to comprehend it at the moment of just how unoptimized and badly running this game is going to be. Remember how when Borderlands 4 came out, it ran like shit, and Randy Pitchford was on Twitter telling people, just use DLSS, just use AI generated frames. That's what we're going to get.
desk.
Imagine that, but for
Eye-opening
Halo
experience.
Studios.
And to me, that's like a really
I saw people pointing this out. Look at the worms.
exciting time in game development.
The ultimate
They look like
love
real
letter
worms
to the
now.
game that started it all. I would call upon our entire Halo community to welcome to the game that started it all. I would
God, look at them. So this is their merch. This is the merch they're showing off to show off the Halo legacy, including a little
call
bobblehead
upon our entire
and a what's very clearly a Halo 4 Cortana figure.
Halo community to welcome with open arms this next generation of
It's
players.
fascinating. It is
I'm excited to
fascinating to
just
see.
relive these experiences again for the first time.
I swear I feel like this is the exact same background they used for Halo Infinite. Am I going crazy? I feel this is the exact same wallpaper generic pre-rendered background they used for that game too. Yeah, that was rough. That was real rough. I'm not exactly sure what there is to say, what there is to say. that hasn't been said already, but we'll try. We'll try and come up with some stuff. Twitter has been amazing, by the way. It's been amazing to see. Just the amount of cope. This is this right here. Here, I need to get some images going here. Give me a sec here, chat. Thanks for you guys. Thanks for being patient with me. I don't usually do. I don't have a lot of stuff set up for these types of these streams. But yeah, I'm fascinated by just the amount of cope that has already happened. We are like T minus, 365 days away from launch, and we're already getting some of the worst levels of cope I have ever seen in a game. Ever seen for a game. Twitter's been fascinating. Twitter's been a very fascinating place to see some of the worst takes I think I've ever seen in a game. Someone was trying to say this guy was joking. I don't know. I hope he is. I've just been screenshotting and taking some of the funnier cope posts, but people were complaining about the Needler, and then we get a guy who is very clearly trying to defend it. Completely not understanding that the Needler already had a ammo indicator. That's what we're complaining about. But I thought that was kind of funny. There's some worse ones as well that I will. Let me see here. This right here, chat, is going to be the evergreen tweet, I think. Whenever you see people talking about the Halo remake, think of this right here. I don't know why that's so blown out. There we go. This may as well be just the motto of the Halo remake. It really is. Games just aren't seen as art with the inherent value. They're hardware to be upgraded and replaced. So, and this is what I'm doing now is I'm just grabbing screenshots because I think it's funny to see the amount of cope that's been happening, because there's been a lot of it, more than I thought, more than I was expecting. Only because we don't even know. Like, we don't even know what the game's gonna actually fully be like. Like, it's too early. It's too early to see even the rest of the game. And there are people who are already going full shill mode. I think this game looks better than the original mode. It's like we've seen one level and it looks mediocre at best. But yeah, it's been a fascinating weekend, I will say. This was a funny one. Halo community will deadass see these two photos together and still somehow try to convince you the 2001 version looks better. 6 laughing emojis. People really just don't understand. Once again, we need a word for people who just do not understand color theory or like artistry or just anything. Like people who look at a painting of the Mona Lisa and complain that doesn't look realistic enough. We need a Half-Life remaster. It's so old. Do you know what? I heard sorry, I'm just adjusting my music volume. I heard a funny explanation a while ago from a podcaster that I listened to, a Mr. Herrera, and he I won't get too much into it. Basically, he talked about how when it comes to art, there are midwits. There is a generation of Americans, and I would say it's global as well. There's probably they probably exist in every country. There are people who see art as like football. There are people who see art as something that has to be the best, where they don't really quite understand. They don't understand a concept of like artistic value. They understand art like they're cheering on MMA fighters. Like art has to be better. Not Brandon Herrera, a different Herrera. That probably narrows it down who I'm talking about. But he the way he described it was so funny because it's absolutely true. There are people who see art as an MMA fight. They see art as like, which one should I root for? Which one is better than the other? They see it as like a fucking scoreboard. Have you ever run into, I see this a lot. Have you ever run into like fucking shonen fans? Have you ever seen people who watch like Dragon Ball and shit? Or like they watch Cape shit and they argue incessantly? The people who watch Death Battle, like people who have to assert that their character, their franchise could beat another franchise. And it's like it's so fucking pathetic to me. Because it's a complete misunderstanding of what art can be. It's a complete misunderstanding. It's a child. It's like what a child would do. It's the thing that a child does, where a child says, Superman can beat this. Superman can beat, Goku. Goku can beat Superman. Halo can beat Call of Duty. No, Call of Duty can beat Halo. No, you suck. And that's it. That's the child's conversation. These are adults. These are adult men who are trying to do the same thing. It's, once again, evergreen tweet. Games as art with their own inherent value. They see them as hardware to be upgraded and replaced. Because people just do not see art as art. They see it as stuff that has to be power scaled compared to other stuff. So I see this in the same regard as power scalers. I really do. I see the people who genuinely worry about how powerful a character is versus like the person who worries about how graphically realistic their Xbox game is or their PlayStation Sony game. I see those people on like the same level of like just troglodyte. Just people who just, I don't know, people who should just get into sports, honestly. Just get into sports betting. Leave us alone. Go play fucking Madden. Go get into sports betting. Leave video games alone. I will say, Pat has been tweeting up a storm, which has been pretty funny. What's happened so far? And by the way, I am shocked actually that how much the Halo community is starting to turn on 343. Here's a funny tweet from our boy, our boy himself. Not gonna lie, I'm disappointed that I didn't get early release access to the Halo Combat Evolved remake. But non-Halo content creators have. I don't think I've seen a Halo content creator get access, but Jack Frags did. To which friend of the channel, wonderful friend of the channel, Mr. Petition TV, had a pretty good he had a pretty good follow-up to that. I have not been this on Twitter in a long time. I've not been this terminally online on Twitter in ages. You know what? Not since Halo Infinite. I've not been this privy to just all the shit that's happening on the Halo side of Twitter. Which is pretty remarkable, honestly. Actman did his video. Actman did a little video. Let me see here. What I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to get some comparison shots because there's stuff to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. Because I think I have a theory for what's happening with Halo. But first, I need to get a better comparison shot of this. I'll leave Pat's tweet up because I think it's funny in the meantime as I try and look for God, I love the Myth soundtrack. Have you guys enjoyed it for when I used it in the Halo 2 review? I used it a lot and I used a lot of the Myth soundtrack. It sounds Halo enough, right? Like it fits for Halo, I feel. You've got all the same sort of musical cues that Marty and Michael would eventually use for Halo 1 and 2. I should have done a screenshot of this earlier. I can't find the exact comparison shot. The reason I bring it up is because I have a theory for why the new Halo is designed the way it is. And everyone's been trying to brainstorm, like, why does the new Halo look weird? Why does it look unfinished? Or why do all the Forerunner designs look very shiny? There's no you know what, I'll just do this one. Does as good of a comparison as I think we're gonna get. Actually, you know what? I should just do this. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get a slideshow going so I can get some images that we can quick go through. I should have prepared this ahead of time. I really was not. I don't know what I was thinking. I clearly wasn't. But I was thinking that we wouldn't get. I wasn't thinking we would get a full reveal. Like, that's what I was thinking. I was not thinking we would get a full. Here's our Halo reveal. So let's get some comparison shots down. So this is one of the more shocking examples. There's some worse ones, but I can't quite get some images going. This is one of the most shocking just comparison shots. And there's a lot to talk about here. I just want to get a better... There's a better Forerunner structure that I want to try showing off. But I can't... No one has seemed to screenshot it. Bizarre. But this is a good microcosm of what's happening. Where we can see how the remake is very clearly missing some stuff. It's missing some certain visual cues that the original just did sort of effortlessly. It's like, it's shocking just how much. The thing that's funny, by the way, is everyone's pointed out, like, this is a hinge. This is a door that opens up. That's supposed to in the original. And in the new one, it's like, what are they? Did they just forget? Did they forget it's supposed to open up? They might have. They actually might have forgotten. That's fair. It's fair if they forgot. Just everyone forgets. You know, we don't have the best memory. Maybe figure that out though before you release a whole gameplay teaser for it. Okay, here's another comparison that I want to show off. There's some things with this. There's some things that need to be acknowledged. I keep burying the lead here. I keep leading you guys on. So look at these designs, by the way. Just look at this. It's like super triangular, super like pyramid shaped. Very, very shiny, very shiny. You lose that rustiness that you had in the original. And not only that, you lose the sense of geometry. You get these like aimless shapes. It's like you look at this and you go like, okay, there's like two pylons and there's like lots of angles, lots of triangles. Versus the original, which is like, it's like, whoa. Oh, there's shapes, there's curves, there's some cones, there's some blocky areas, there's some like cylindrical parts. There's like a little trapezoid section down there. Beautiful. This is a low-res image. I wish I could have found a higher-res one. Also, look at the rust. Look at that. It's because this is clearly a structure, and I love the little detail. As the further towards the water it gets, the darker it gets. because it's rusty because it's been on a beach for 100,000 years. This is metal that has slowly rusted over time. The Forerunners, you know, they were amazing technological geniuses, but they could not prevent oxidization. Like even they can't quite prevent, you know, natural universal chemical processes that turn shiny steel into, you know, something a little more rustic, something a little rustier. Here's my theory. Here's my ultimate theory, chat. I want to make sure you guys are all listening right now. I think AI generation was used for all the concept art for Halo, for the Halo campaign evolved. That's my biggest hot take. I think AI generative imagery was used to redesign Halo 1. I think that is the core design process that they, here's the screenshot again. That is the core design process that they used for a lot of these structures. There are very telltale signs of AI usage here. And by the way, I've got no confirmation about this. The Halo devs were asked point blank if they're using AI generation by, I think it was by Forbes. And they dodged the question. They didn't properly answer it. They were very coy about it. AI has a hard time getting very specific geometric shapes. AI has a very hard time trying to, it's getting better and better, but it has a hard time getting perfect symmetry down, as well as getting like exact lines and perfectly proportional rounded curves and archways. Things like square rectangular blocks, things like those ribbings that you can see on there. There's multiple ribbings on that design. You can see like going down into the water and then as well as kind of jutting up further towards the land. Very, very particular, very geometric design. Stuff that's very cool and pleasing to look at because we're humans and we like that. We don't like weird, jagged outlines. This is something that like a computer looked at and thought to reinterpret. You see a simple use of geometry, a beautiful blocky use of geometry, very kind of thicker, more general, more primitive shapes, I should say. Lots of circles, lots of straight lines, lots of straight edges, lots of kind of semicircles, archways, things like that. Like this area, you can see this area that you can count just the amount of like shapes that you can see. That all combine to make an interesting but fairly grounded, you know, design. And then we see, look at that. Because the AI, whatever design they're using, whatever AI framework that they're using, was not able to discern that this is meant to be a hatch. What it did discern was that there's a circular area and like a weird sort of thing jutting over it. That's what the AI did. It made a weird, jagged reinterpretation of that. It made it all shiny. Oh my god, 343 viewers. That is my conspiracy. That is my ultimate conspiracy. I don't think we're ever going to get full confirmation of it, but my theory so far has been that the remake has AI generative imagery for its concept art, and that is why a lot of these areas look weird. This isn't normal Forerunner design, even for 343 standards. Like 343, like looking back to Infinite, and even 4 and 5, like they didn't have a good design language for the Forerunners, but they had a different language. This isn't it. Like this is something very different. People have been saying like, oh, this is just Halo Infinite. This is like Zeta Halo. That's not really the case. Like this is a very different looking type of Forerunner design compared to what we've seen before. Like Halo 4 and Halo 5, like that was straight up like Tron Legacy levels of just steel and bright glowing lights. Like that was their design philosophy. Not quite AI generated. Yeah. Very, very rough looking. I don't know if we're ever going to get full confirmation, but that's my prediction. That's going to be my controversial prediction, is that we are going to find out that AI generative imagery was used to design or redesign some of these foreigner structures. So it looks rough. There's something about it looks very rough. And we all know, we all understand, like we all know that it looks bad, but the cope runneth over. Overhang ship on Halo 5 map. It does. I am definitely getting Halo 5 vibes from a lot of this. Maybe more Infinite. That's the thing. Infinite didn't really quite have this though. Infinite was definitely a little more spiky and triangular than Halo 1, but it also, I love that tweet. But it also had like geometry to it. It had a sense of geometry to it. This feels just rough. It feels like an AI. It feels like you put this image into a computer and it spat this out. Like it really does. So that's my conspiracy. It's probably not going to be the case. Might not be the case. We're probably never going to get confirmation of if it's the case. But that is going to be until I hear explicit confirmation that isn't the case. This is going to be in the back of my head that this looks like something they AI generated. So but yeah, 343 just keep raising the bar as to how low they'll redesign Halo. Let's reopen that. Let's reopen some of our cope predictions. Halo is back. Halo's back, you guys. Halo's back. Like a lot of these thumbnails, notice the AI accusations have kind of gone away. Like people aren't really talking about that anymore. We'll be back to posting. Halo is back. They pretty much have. Single player only. I've seen this. 343 Shills trying to say that Halo originally wasn't planned to have multiplayer, justifying the remake not having multiplayer either. This is my theory, which we have yet to be confirmed. My theory was that at the time that they are not going to have multiplayer because they're going to want to push people to some other live service multiplayer game that is probably currently in the works. We know there's a second video game project for Halo. We know that they're aiming for something inspired by Fortnite. Some of those leaks have come out. Beyond that, we don't know the specifics. We don't know if it's going to be fully like a free-to-play live service game, what it's going to use, what engine it's going to run on. And now that I think about it, I'm thinking that's going to be saved for 2027. I think we're going to get the remake next year, and then a year after we'll get the free-to-play live service game. Very little info. Cope runs high. This is to be seen as we get more and more info. Demo will be even more concerning. All fears for either game will be confirmed. Team Cope will claim the demo looks fun. This happened with Infinite. We've learned this, by the way. We have learned that some of the working conditions, our buddy, God, what was his name? Israel something? Glenn Israel. But he has come out and basically he had a whole it's like kind of like I don't know where he's posting this from, maybe LinkedIn. He had a full post basically explaining that the working conditions are just rough. Which I predicted we would find this out long after the games came out, but no, apparently this is all just happening like right away. So good for us, I guess. Yeah, there we go. Here's yet another public service announcement for workers in the state of Washington. Okay, it goes through chapter 330, section 52. You believe that you're a target of a constructive discharge campaign, you should know first and foremost that the burden of proof is the substantial, rests squarely on your shoulders. Do not quit without speaking to an employment attorney first. Your attorney will give you guidance unique to your situation. Manager holds you to performance standard far greater than your direct peers in either quality or quantity of work, or both. It could be they constantly shift the goalposts for your success in particular, or offer contradictory feedback between written and spoken forms. Any reasonable person with your position would be forced to resign. So that we can read between the lines here. He's the guy called art director at 343 Industries, who has just left that and has now made a post talking about it. We can all interpret that this is what it's from, and this is what he's referring to. And yeah. Pretty amazing, honestly. Pretty dang amazing, I must say. But yeah, it has been a wild ride for us fans, and I think it's only going to get worse too. I think it's really just going to start getting worse, the stuff coming out about 343. Atrix dies in a coloring book to set up the return. Halo 7 coming out in 2036. It probably will be 2036. I think that is a if they ever do a proper Halo follow up. Actually, who am I kidding? We're not getting Halo in the. I don't think Halo is going to survive to the 2030s. I think this is about it. I think we'll get another Halo remake at some point in the next 20 or 30 years, but this will be it. Yeah, that's kind of. I'm realizing there's not much else to talk about. We didn't see much. We saw an ugly ass gameplay demo. Here's Jamie Griesmer, the man, the myth himself. For those who aren't sure about who Jamie Griesmer is, he was a huge influential part of Halo. He's also the man who coined the 30 seconds of fun. The 30 seconds of fun quote, which has since been used completely out of context ever since, but we love him for it. Yeah. Good old Jamie. It's good to know that the old school Halo guys, the old school Bungie team are still kicking. You aren't supposed to take the Warthog up to steamroll the hunters. I intentionally placed rocks in the way. You had to fight them on foot. You could just smash crates out of the way. It wrecks the encounters. But the worst part, they put trees in the landing area of the woohoo jump. Lame. What have they done to our beloved B30? That was the working title for, that was the level name for Silent Cartographer. I'm trying to think, what else is there really to talk about, chat? Like, I hate to say it, there isn't much else to discuss. We barely saw anything, and what we've seen has just been concerning. Like, all that there's left to talk about is just like artistic taste, like whether or not, you know, whether or not we think any of these trailers or gameplay demos look decent. But Marcus Leto, yeah, he seemed positive about it. Leto seemed positive. Griesmer seems a little more critical. Marty has been very coy about it. Anytime the Halo theme gets reused in any marketing, Marty always pops up. That music sounds familiar. Again, Marty is kind of my Mark Kern. He is mine. He's my cringe. He may be cringe, but he is mine. YouTuber cope. I will say there's not a lot of YouTuber cope. The people haven't made their videos yet. There are a few like impressions, early impressions. Hey guys. I have I have some of them pulled up. They're very long though. That's the thing. They're like 30 minutes long, and I don't know if we want to speed through them.
Well, it's official. Halo campaign evolved is real. It's a thing, and the cool thing about it, it's like I had a chance to play it. So I'm going to give you guys my honest thoughts and reviews.
So a bunch of fucking people got flown out to play the Halo demo. By the way, listen, 343, like, pay me money. I will shill your product. I hope you guys know that. I will shill something if you pay me money for it.
My gameplay experience.
That's chat. That's the only reason I hate on Halo is because I'm not part of the shill sphere. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting paid for any of this. But yeah, like all these impressions. This is like 16 minutes. We are not watching a fucking 60-minute video. We can maybe speed through it really quickly. Halo lets you do 4x speed, which I find to be very funny. I'm always curious to know who uses this.
For it. And like I say, it feels rather faithful to the original. Obviously, there's some changes, but there also are some significant, noticeable issues with like Unreal 5 that played with other games that we definitely need to talk about in this video. But for the uninitiated, right, so we're all on the same page here.
I love these YouTube videos, by the way. I love all of these. All these like guys who just make 10, 15-minute Halo videos, Halo like discussion videos like every day.
Original combat evolved, but then remaking it within the Unreal Engine to be able to bring Halo to the masses with a whole new fidelity 25 years later, trying to recreate that.
Do you think Master Chief Collection has a future? I kind of don't care. Like, keep fixing bugs, keep fixing glitches, but I don't need new stuff added to it. I just want my old games. I don't need new gimmicks. I don't need new stuff. We have some modders who are adding stuff. We have the old games that are, I mean, close to how they were on console. There's still some issues here and there, but remove the Golden Moa statues. Remove that, and that's all I need.
In this game, there's some awesome modern mechanics that were brought in from classic Halo games like Halo 2 and Halo 3.
I literally don't even know who this guy is, by the way. That's how few impression videos there are. It's this guy, and then Hidden Xperia has one. Jack Frags had his one. Let's watch the Jack Frags one.
The Halo remake. This is wild. So a big thanks to
We're watching at 2x speed because I do not want to wait 60 or 14, 15 minutes.
Obviously, this is a pre-release build, work in progress, and I'm playing this on the Xbox Series X. So I plugged in my mouse and keyboard just to see. And yeah, it actually works. So this is a full Unreal Engine 5 remake of Halo Combat Evolved. And they've gone in and added 3 prequel missions.
So yeah, they invited Jack Frags, which is really funny because this pissed off Xperia. Here I'm putting it 4x speed. This looks incredible. This isn't... He's not... Is he reacting to this live? What is this? Is he like in the middle of a fucking game room with a bunch of other people reacting to this live? God, look at that. Just look at that. That is literally like the Windows 10 default startup screen. Why are the clouds so low res? What is this? Why do they look like that? Are they trying to do like volumetric weather? Is that going to be a thing? Are they going to have like dynamic weather? Why would they need volumetric clouds? Why? Why not just make it a painting like you did with the originals? Oh, I'm sorry, what Bungie did with the originals, because you're not Bungie. I forgot who I was talking to. Talking to you, Halo Studios.
Oh my god, it's incredible. If I had to move the music, it actually got the see down the gameplay included. Look at that. Greens. Oh, here we go.
You know what? Actually, chat, do you know what I think we're gonna do? By the way, how is the video compression? How's it looking for you guys? Is it looking bad? Is it looking good? I can't really tell. I have to like go off of what you guys say. Because that's partially why I don't want to load up like a game, because I don't know if the compression will look good. You know what I think we're gonna do? Because this whole time I'm trying to do like good comparisons. I think we're actually gonna do it. I think this game's actually gonna make me do it. Here's what we're gonna do, chat. Here's exactly what we're gonna do. I hope the compression is gonna look good. I hope this doesn't shit the bed. I hope nothing happens. Because I've not run a game while streaming to YouTube. I've never done this before. We're gonna see how it works. That what we're gonna do. We're gonna do a comparison ourselves. Good God, that's loud. Has anyone had this issue where MCC just launches on the wrong window? Like the wrong monitor every single fucking time without fail? Is that, yeah, there we go. right, let's get this up and running. I don't know if this is going to capture. Having trouble capturing. There we go. There we go. Hello, hello. A little zoomed in. Get that fixed. I have 3 monitors. I've finally, chat, you'll be proud of me. I finally got a 1440p monitor. You'll be happy to hear. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to do. Is there like? I'll do that just so I can quick fly around and do some little comparisons. But this will just be a fun little thing. Chat, what we're going to do is we're going to do some comparisons ourselves because I am just sick. I am sick of having to go through other unreliable people for information. We're going to do it on our own. God, look at that. Here, let me turn up the audio. We're not. This is not a full playthrough, by the way, chat. As much as I would love to do a full Halo playthrough, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to adjust the bit rate if we ever do that. Just look at that. Like already you see just the unspoken riz that this game has over the remake is just unparalleled.
The island has multiple structures and installations. One of them contains the map room.
So there's a lot of stuff that's already speaking to me. The colors. And what's funny is I think older games just had a good sort of balance between colors not looking super invasive, but also not looking oversaturated. It was a good balance where colors had a good like readability to them. I think, you know what? That's the word to think about, is readability. That's something that a lot of newer games just do not have. A lot of Unreal Engine games don't have it. Simple yet detailed, exactly. Also, I think my stream's a little delayed as well. I'm noticing I'm getting chat messages that are like 10, 15 seconds old. Which is fine by me, but in case am a little slow to respond, just FYI. God, every time I load up Halo CE, I immediately fall in love with it. I really do. This is part of the skull. This skull is kind of fun, just being able to fly around. It makes getting cinematic shots for my Halo reviews a lot easier. So this is a good place to kind of start. So if we compare, just do a little comparison for our old friend's Campaign Evolved, which is such a bad name, by the way. Campaign Evolved. It's too similar. Just call it Halo. I said, as stupid as that sounds, I said just do like Halo 2025 or 2026 or whatever. I want to get a good shot of a good comparison shot. The guy doesn't stand still for too long, so it's a little hard to do. You can see already. You can see just the stark difference in design, in what they were going for. Such a mood. So it does. It really does sound like a mod name. It really does. Because they wanted to be cheeky. Also, I think it's calling it Campaign Evolved. It sounds cool because it sounds just like CE. They can keep the acronym. Also, it's a good indication that they don't have to do multiplayer. They just if they called it Halo 1 Remake, there's people who would go, like me, who would go, why not remake the multiplayer as well? Why not bring that back? Halo 1 was notable for its multiplayer. When you call it Campaign Evolved, it's, because it's just the campaign. But yeah, like, just an unparalleled level of the flying in this is really weird. I don't know if I quite trust the skull. Just
Okay, let's move out. Let's go find the map.
the design, it's beautiful. It is simple, it's elegant, it's lots of geometric shapes. I was talking about this earlier, but here's exactly what I mean. This structure, it has so much riveting to it. You have these ribbed layers here. Look at the little detail, by the way. As you get close to the water, there's more and more grime because you probably think like, oh, because the waves are crashing against it. It's such an ingenious little detail. Same over here. I don't know. I don't know if they've ever quite addressed how the Halo ring works gravitationally, but there might be high and low tide. It looks like that could work here. The colors just pop. The deep blue. That's one thing I noticed from the remake, because like you have the planet there. It's very clearly like a red gas giant planet. We actually get to explore that in Halo 2. But the sky, it doesn't distract from the sky. That beautiful blue sky and the stars, just everything about it. The twinkling stars, the Halo ring, which is beautifully modeled and painted, by the way. This design of a ring where the shadow of itself kind of casts that like beautiful band. You look further up and it goes all the way around. I've heard a lot of explanations for why the skybox in Halo was designed the way it is. The explanation I've heard constantly is that the Halo ring, it bisects the skybox. There's a big planet on one side, small planet on the other. This is your compass, basically. This is what you use to navigate around. If you need to get your a bear of things, if you need to get if you need to understand which direction you're facing, if you need to understand like how you're moving through an area, look at the sky. You can immediately gauge like, okay, I'm facing this way, or I'm facing this way. Stuff that you don't even really think about. Stuff that a like outsourced team to some, to some third world country being contracted by Halo Studios just doesn't even think about when they remake a game for money-making purposes. So they've changed the skybox you can see in the remake. The gas giants on that side. Let's kind of skip through a bit here. I'm trying to look for some better comparison shots as well. But here's a great example of what I mean. This is why I think this area is meant to be AI generated in the... I think for concept art, I think it's straight up AI generated for how they redesigned it. Here's a good... honestly, here's a good comparison right here. So you can immediately see in the original, lots of straight lines, lots of right angles, lots of like geometric patterns and shapes that are like very recognizable. Halo 1 had a brutalist art style. The Forerunners were brutalist. They had a imposing, kind of intimidating presence. They were a little mysterious, they were a little creepy. We didn't quite know what they were. We didn't know who they were. And with this, we can see there is a wonderful use of like texturing. Look at this, like the bronze on this little part of the structure here, like clearly weathered away for hundreds of thousands of years. I think 100,000 years exactly is the timeline in Halo. So tens of thousands of years just withering away in a salty ocean air environment. Lots of beautiful rust stains. It's just a beautiful looking piece of geometry. Sorry, I'm trying to get used to the acrophobia skull. But the new one, we need triangles. Lots of triangles, that's what makes me think it's AI. Notice how there's no like discernible round edges either. There's no like semicircles, there's no like spheres, there's no cones. It's all triangles and it's all like spiky, and it's hard to discern like any, geometric shape. It's hard to discern any of it. It all just kind of blends together. Anyway. I think that's the exact same line. I think some of the voice lines are completely reused. By the way, the demo is very coy. They don't show any of the Marines, at least on a close-up. So we can already kind of see the difference between the Marines in this game. You got a variety. The Halo 1 Marines, I always loved their colors. They don't quite have the green that you would see in later games. They have a heavy use of kind of desaturated grays with like bronze armor plating. A little bit of gray. Beautiful green eyepiece. Timeless design. Lovely and timeless design. It makes Halo 1 unique. And you know what? I'll say it. All the Bungie games had unique Marine designs. I like that about Bungie, is they weren't afraid to... When Bungie experiments with redesigning stuff, it somehow works. It's almost like they had a real art team with a real creative vision. 343 just decides, hey, let's make it look like Halo Infinite. That seems to be the recurring theme, is they want everything to look Halo Infinite. The vehicle physics as well. I want to talk about vehicle physics because it looks rough. It looks different. It doesn't look quite as weighty as it did in Halo 1. So just check this out. It's the way the Warthog moves around. It's a little bouncy. It's a little more like I said, it feels like it's vacuumed to the floor. Like it's kind of zipping around. It looks like the Halo Infinite Warthog. Like, look how he does this quick turn over here. He, like, immediately turns around. When we take a look at actual old Halo, look at that. Look how slow that is to get up to speed. It's this big, heavy thing. And look at that. Like, when you do these turns, it's so sluggish. Also, he didn't flip the Warthog once in the trailer. Get out of the way, dude. You're going to fucking get crushed. It lacks that, like, sluggishness that the OG Warthog really had. Yeah, it looks weightless. There's, like, no weight behind it. You can immediately see just, like, the Warthog moves differently. It's slow. It's graceful. You notice it takes a while when I do those turns. It takes a while for me to get back up to speed. Again, it's a feeling thing. You can feel the difference. Also, this is something I want to show off. Actually, you know what? I'll wait till the next section. Give me a sec. I want to show off the muzzle flares. Look at that. Look at that assault rifle. Do you see that? Beautiful. Beautiful design right there. Look at that. Look how big and flashy that is. Oh my god. You look at that and you go, oh, okay, this is a gun that is powerful. It's throwing a ton of rounds downrange. But if we look at the remake, you can immediately see. I think he put I think he put the assault rifle away, but in the remake we can see that look at that. Very weak looking assault rifle. Yeah. I should just, you know what? This is something where I would do a full, better edited video as opposed to just hopping onto the game and doing a comparison myself. But I feel I need to, because like no one's really addressing these changes. I want to grab a plasma pistol and a needler to kind of show what I mean. So, like, these designs, like, first off, it's so hilarious how they, like, always redesign these to look so ugly. This is what I'm talking about with the classic Halo 1 pistol design. It's sleek, it's simple, it looks perfect. It looks weighty, it looks damaging, while also still being a smaller sort of sidearm weapon that you would see only in the hands of lower level enemies. I gotta be careful before I just end up playing Halo 1. Look at this needler. Look how beautiful this is. It's smooth, it's clear. There's no weird little screen at the back that tells you how many bullets you have. Because they don't need that. Because they know that the person playing the game isn't stupid and can see how many needles are in the gun. Look at that. Do you see how the needles are slowly depleting as I shoot? Isn't that interesting? And you reload, and they're all back. Exactly. Changes for the sake of changes. I took the Needler for granted too. I took its design for granted. It's like now we just don't even have it anymore. But yeah, it's criminal what's become of my beloved Halo. Get back here. But yeah. There again, we could do this all night. We could do a whole comparison stream. I won't try and do this too much. I think this is kind of the extent that I want to show. But this is also a good example. It's like I was talking earlier about Forerunner design. I was talking about how in the remake it looks like they just don't have any color theory going on. This is a big example of what I was referring to. Look at this area. Look at that. Look how dark that is. Let's let him kind of run through the level here. Give him time. So you can see already there is a jarring difference in just how this area is designed. Look at that color. Look at the use of like a little bit of tan. Like a little bit of tan to kind of accentuate the Forerunner design. Oh my goodness. Is there, by the way, someone pointed that out as well. Is there going to be grenade chain reactions? I don't think there will be. I don't think that'll be in the finished game. But yeah. It's fun because you know what? I'll say this about the remakes. A game being poorly remade you will never get more appreciation for a game you love until you see it remade badly. I mean, to me that's the silver lining of the remake is like, oh yeah, if worst case scenario, this just teaches people how to appreciate old games better. Which is to say, don't take them for granted. But like, look at the color usage here. It's so deliberate and beautiful. Halo 1 is a beautiful game. You have these cold blue lights. This is pre-built lighting. This is not dynamic. This is something where a designer with a artistic vision had to design all of this so that this blue light would hit just to this area. And then you'd have this giant, beautiful overhead light casting a slightly contrasty kind of tan, kind of gold, not really gold, but more of a desaturated yellow, leading all the way there. So it catches your eye. It catches your eye, and then it also shows these little areas that maybe an enemy could be hiding in, or it just looks nice. You know what? Sometimes you can just design level geometry to look nice. What's up here? I've never been up here. I don't know there was even an I never even knew there was an area up here. Learn something new about Halo every single day you play it. Look at this area. Look at it. Beautiful golden wall. There's a blue, like almost purple light source just kind of going all the way up and down. Looks gorgeous. The walls themselves are a little darker, but it doesn't feel too dark. It feels more just kind of imposing. There's a lot of good contrasting textures for all the Forerunner designs. It's like, that's something we take for granted with newer Halos, is just look at the variety of detail in the textures. There's like tons of different shades of gray and dark gray and black and golds and blues and silvers all together. And it creates such a mood. That being said, if we look at the remake, he kind of walks through this area pretty quickly. Look at this. This is it. This is that hallway that we're looking at right now. This is the hallway. This is the little staircase that they're looking at. Unbelievable. It's such like just a lack of understanding of why colors are chosen or why colors are even used to look nice, to create a mood. There are people who will fight tooth and nail to tell you that this looks better than this. Unbelievable. So if we go a little bit further, notice how it gets darker, but it's not impossible to fucking see. Notice how there's a beautiful use of lighting. The floor is never pitch black in Halo 1. The walls might be a little dark. You guys may remember my good friend Titus when we did a video together, us three and Burke. So me and Titus have actually gone through, I've shown Titus Halo. He's never played Halo before. I played Halo with him. And the one thing he pointed out, which I thought was really hilarious, is Halo 1 felt like it had movie theater lighting, where when you were walking to your movie theater seat, it had that kind of lighting to it, where it's dark but not super dark, like light enough where you can see where you're going, as it should. Notice the ground is never pitch black. It's just the walls.
Don't let them lock the doors.
There's this beautiful section. That guy locks the door. He locked the door. I probably could have used acrophobia to fly in real quickly.
I underestimated the Covenant's
But this area in the remake as well, you can see just a lack.
don't have enough firepower to get through them.
You can see just a lack of understanding of how stuff should look. Like, also listen to the new dialogue as well. I'll just let it play for you guys. I'll any excuse to play Halo 1 again. I'll use that. Like, look. Sorry, I'm letting the dialogue play. Because I respect Halo as a game. Unlike a remake. It's hard to hear. I do have it pretty quiet, I realize. I can turn it up just a little bit. Just for you guys. Look at...
To find the security override to get this door open.
I get it, Cortana. We have to go somewhere else. Look at this area, though. There's so much stuff to observe. So look at the wall. Yeah, the movie theater lighting. That's entirely Titus. Titus said that, and that's gonna stick with me forever. All these like funny little panels on the wall. This is just you. This doesn't serve a purpose. This is just a cool little detail that someone modeled and lit. That you have a cool light source. In addition, you've got this beautiful window that lets you stare out. And look at just the contrast in the colors here. There's deep purples mixed with like lighter cold blues. It's not just pitch black. There is a colorfulness to it, but it's also not too oversaturated, if that makes sense. It's like a nice blend. Look at stuff like this. Like, Forerunner panels used to be cool. They had like so much fun little details, like these cool little lights. These like little wall computer circuitry panels. I don't know what those are. In the remake, it's all just kind of ugh. It's all kind of the same. What happens? It all becomes the same color. Like there's no variety here. And look at this. That's the money shot right there. It's like, yeah, look at that. Look at our dark tunnel. It's just not Halo. It's different. It's different, and it's a little too different.
The security override to get this door open.
Anyway, we'll kind of skip ahead here. Luckily, I can fly away. Where we're going, I don't need a Warthog. I want to get a beach shot. I want to get a beach comparison shot. Also, now I think the game's a little too loud. I want to get a just a shot of the shoreline because there's so much just aura that the original game has that the new one nothing can compare to it. That's the problem. Is you're trying to compare to a game that has such a distinct visual, a visual that I don't think people can quite replicate anymore. Because people are so obsessed with realistic looking graphics, with stuff that has to be, brand new, top of the line Unreal Engine 5 slop. You don't quite get these beautiful ambiance. Like, you don't get the ambiance. You don't get these areas. I'm trying to find a good screenshot comparison. I should have had this all prepared. I didn't really think. I didn't think I'd need to prepare any of this. But I'll let you guys just appreciate the beauty of Halo 1's beautiful ring world. Just the detail to that. Like, being able to... The fact that the sky is clear enough. Like, you have these, like, little clouds on the horizon, but the sky itself is nice and clear. You can see that Halo ring. You can see the stars. You can see detail on the ring. You can see, like, the... all the different, like, islands and little continents and oceans on the ring. And all the clouds as well, going all the way up. It's little design choices like that that you don't notice until it's gone. Like, it's stuff that we really do take for granted sometimes. I'm trying to find a good beach screenshot, because I don't think there was one in the demo. I think there was there's a lot of BS. Man, I was seeing so many fucking shill posts earlier. People showing off the graphics, saying how amazing it is. And now I can't find any of them. Now they're all just... It's almost like they're all starting to disappear off my timeline. Oh, here... no, never mind. That's neither one. But yeah, am I at least getting through to you guys in chat? Am I at least explaining this correctly about how... Just old Halo had such a mood. Here we go. Here's a good screenshot, I feel. My favorite thing about all of this entire conundrum of us having a remake of a game that does not need a remake. I'm going to say that right now. We do not need a fucking Halo remake. It's perfect as is. Just play the original. If you're unable to play an old game, that's your skill issue. Here we go. So here's a good comparison. Here's some good comparison shots. It's hard to quite get this area, but you can immediately tell. Like, the beach, it's just over-designed. Doesn't quite feel as cold as it should. Like, the beach looks... Someone pointed out, it looks like just kind of a generic Unreal 5 tech demo beach that you would see for, like, I don't know, like a Tomb Raider game or something. It doesn't quite have the mood, the crypticness of old Halo. If just for the color choices. I think it's really the color. I think the color is really being denigrated in the new one. Like, I keep accidentally opening that image. I'm sorry, Pat. I love you. Good luck on your bike ride. Actually, no, you did finish it. Congrats on that. You can see there's just like a hint of brown to everything, especially if we look at the actual demo. There's just a brown haze to everything, like an orange yellowish haze to all the environments. It's what they very clearly tried to do, and a lot of remakes do this, is they wanted to make their game look good for screenshots. They wanted it to look good, like, for comparison shots, not really realizing that they're missing the ambiance of the original. They're missing the actual, like, coldness, the actual color. The color. That's the one thing they seem to be unable to do, is the color. So, I'm ranting, I'm rambling. If I go off track, just let me know, chat. I will get right back on.
It looks like there is a path into the interior of the island.
I love just being able to fly in like that. Ah, good old Halo. So it's almost like this area was specifically designed for you to not be able to take a Warthog through. Oh, wait a minute. How am I supposed to drive through this level, chat? Oh, these guys at Bungie, they just put a tree in the way because they don't know what they're doing. Clearly, I am meant to drive my Warthog through this ravine right here. This is something that in a remake they should fix. Just complete misunderstanding of how a level's supposed to play. Just a complete disregard for, I don't know, gameplay progression, level design. I love the plasma rifle in Halo 1. It's the only time the plasma rifle has ever been fun to use in Halo. I do kind of like the brute plasma, especially in ODST. But the Halo 1 is goated for a reason. I just realized something. Do you see elite shields in the remake? I'll have to go back because he's in a Warthog in this section, so it's hard to do a comparison. How have we seen the elite shields glow? Let me look. Let me see. Let me see this. Okay, so that's his shields are kind of staticky there. I want to see like actual like the shields light up.
Somewhere inside that facility.
So they flash when they pop.
We have to get in there and stop them before they learn the location of the control center.
I just want to see them. I just want to see what's in your pocket. What'd you put in your pocket? I just want to see. It looked really interesting. I don't think they did a... Where's this? Okay. That's the shield effect. That's it right there. Look at the way it pops. Here, I'll try and zoom in. You guys can even make it out. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be hard to see thanks to YouTube compression. Look at the shield. Look at the elite shield right there. Look how hard it is to make out. Like, that's it. Like, that little glowing effect. The whole time, I'm wondering, like, where are my beautiful elite shields? Here, I'll let this guy recharge his shield. You guys can see what I'm talking about. Your shield's back, buddy? Nope. I'm going to wait for them to recharge. Oh, wait. Don't worry. The classic, just bright teal blue shields that Elites had, I think is just gone. Which is, to be fair, that happened in... whatever. I'll just kill this guy. I'll skip ahead. Don't worry. We're skipping through so much stuff anyways. It doesn't really matter. Like, look at this. Look at the... Look at that. Look at that shield effect right there. It's glowing. It's beautiful. You can tell when his shields pop. It's so timeless. Prophet, I'm the Prophet's top guy. He wanted me to lead the great journey. Look how cool that shield effect is. I'm just in awe of how this is a 25-year-old game. The colors, the lighting, it's all just perfect. There really is nothing quite like Halo, is there? It really is going to be the game that no one's ever going to understand how they made it. Like how Bungie captured lightning in a bottle 3 times in a row. I wanted to show this area though. This is the big area. So, did they just forget that this is supposed to be a door? They must have, right? Like, they clearly just forgot that this is supposed to be an area where this door is supposed to hinge upwards. Lest we look at the gameplay demo. They kind of breeze through this in the demo. They don't spend too much time here. Yeah, in the demo, or in the remake, you can apparently bring a fucking Warthog up here. Also, I just realized it's way too zoomed in. Let me fix that for you guys. Yep. I don't know how I feel about this. It looks weird. It looks you know what it does? It looks claustrophobic. Is that just me? It looks like... Here's a... Let me get some good... I think I have a good screen. Yeah, this is a good screenshot of it. Look how claustrophobic it looks. Like, it doesn't... For an area that's supposed to be big and open, it just looks, I don't know, super enclosed. Oh, I fucked up the shot. Like, this feels like open. And it feels big and spacious, and you don't feel claustrophobic, and like there's trees around, but there's just a comfortable amount of shade. And the design of this too. I think, you know what? I think that's part of it as well, is that the design isn't overbearing. Like, when you have a giant tower in the way, you lose that. You lose sight of the skybox. You lose sight of what you're looking at. Also, that weird-ass pyramid in the background. I don't know what that's supposed to be. That's supposed to be, like, right there. I don't know what that's connected to. Just a wonderful little level. Such a good showcase of environment geometry, artistic design, with a complete misunderstanding of how the remake, with a remake that just completely misunderstands all of it. I do want to show more though. I want to show this interior area. I was talking about this before, and this is exactly what I get to showcase what I mean. The stream isn't going how I thought it would. I wasn't thinking I would load up Halo 1 just to show you guys what I'm talking about. But this is also what I meant with the Jackal shields. Like, look how big those shields are. Like, look how much those stand out. They're glowing. They're beautiful looking. Get used to me saying that about old Halo, chat. I say that about all my old Halo games. I just think they're beautiful. I really do. It's a work of art, and I'm tired of people just not treating it as such, treating it as hardware that has to be replaced. U5 remake of Halo CE will receive some negative reviews just because of the U5 jank. Yeah, that's something I'm curious about. I'm curious to know about performance, about how it's going to look. Here's another good showcase of how the remake just does not know what to do with itself. He goes into the Foreigner structure. The exact identical mistake they made before. No colored wall. No, like, cool, like, beam strip of light. Like, it just... Like, look at that. It's just bad. It's you know what? It's boring. That's what it is. It's boring. It's uninspired. This is also what I was talking about. This room right here. Let's deal with these hunters first. Notice how this room isn't pitch fucking black. Notice how there's like light sources on the ceiling, so it gives the room a sense of height. This cool, weird little machine in the middle. What does this machine do? I don't know. It's cool though. This is exactly what I was saying earlier. The same rules apply. You have a giant area that's nicely lit, but also the only thing that's really dark are like the walls surrounding it. The floor is easy to see. You've got these like little side light sources that are kind of shining in. A nice contrast of sort of a lightish tan color with little bits of light cold blue. Again, color. Bungie knew their color. They knew how to do color. Do you guys want to see? Like, look at that. That's like not even the same room. It's just fucking pitch black. Like, what's going on here? Like, why design it that way? Notice how the room feels a lot more claustrophobic too. Like it feels smaller. If you're adding sprint to a game, why would you make the environment smaller? God, the poor weakened Magnum. This area as well. Again, so many just designs that went completely over 343's heads. They just could not figure out how to design an area. So, like, look at this. This is one of the most iconic areas in this level. You come through here. Why is there a room that's glowing blue? Because it looks cool. Because it looks neat. This hallway, kind of a dark beige lighting. Very calm. And then you get into a pitch... This is where you get to a pitch black room. It's a little different. You have a reflected floor. It's not just reflected. You can look down and it shows you. There's a little bit of environmental storytelling. God, I sound like one of those fucking awful video essayists. It shows you that there's an entire structure beneath the ring, beneath the surface. That there's an entire just sprawling complex below. This hologram too. This is one of the most beautiful just things. Just a cool vector hologram. Beautiful, nice and animated. If we consult with the remake. So that hallway, you can see they're trying to do the colors. You can see there's that little bit of blue area. Not quite as blue, more just white lighting. It's just everything doesn't pop anymore. You don't get those distinct colors because it's because of the walls. It's because of the textures. Everything is that same shade of silver gray.
Use the hollow panel to shut down the.
So this is a game that's in Unreal Engine 5, which should have like ray tracing and whatever, and they don't even highlight the glass floor, which should be reflective. Like, that should just be glass right there. Anyway, I love how here, look at the pop-in on this guy. As the camera gets closer, you can see his textures pop in. Look at that. But it looks better because it's a pre-rendered cutscene. Versus this. Huh, zero pop in. No textures popping in, no lights popping in. It's just instantaneous. Perfect. I wonder how that's the case. But that hologram as well. That hologram was just so lame. Look at that. With no vector graphics, it's just kind of, it's like a weird like blue turd. Like it's just nothing. It's so boring. I think it's the worst thing for a remake, honestly, is for it to just be boring. Boring and bad. Anyway, let's skip ahead. There's one last area that I want to show because we're basically retreading old areas. Like, look at this as well. Look at this cool just mural. Like, whatever this is. It's lit. It's beautiful. Not even acknowledging the remake. That's it in the remake. Like, what are they doing? Anyway, we got invisible guys to kill. So much that's missing. So much ambiance that's just been completely destroyed or just ignored. Like, I'm genuinely curious to know how many of these changes were intentional, because there's a good chance that they just didn't know, where these people are like redesigning their game. So in the remake, they made it this is a cutscene that happens. The Pelican crashes.
Let's move down the beach. Keep an eye out for any cargo we can salvage.
Also, I think in the remake, let me consult the remake again. I think the guy just jumps down. Yeah, he does. So that's another interesting thing as well. Look at the fall damage. They don't have Halo 1 fall damage anymore. Look at that. Nothing. That's like Halo Infinite levels of fall damage. If we consult the original, let's try that. What happens if you do that in the original? Good God. I took so much fucking damage. I lost my health. Only because I had an overshield. I think that's the only reason I survived. I'm on 2 bars of health now. Whatever. It's a change they're making. Maybe it'll work. I don't know. I'm just pointing out the differences. Look at that. Look at the explosion there. Just, it looks cool. It kicks up so much dirt and debris. Let's do that. Listen to the sounds as well. This is sound design right here. You know what? I'll turn up the audio just some more so you guys can hear, because it's beautiful. You hear how the little rocks and debris, as they fall down, they create their own like little sound effect. It's such a wonderful little attention to detail. Halo 1, unparalleled when it comes to sound design and just visuals as well. Everything about Halo 1 is timeless. When we see those like doofuses talk about how actually the new game looks a lot better, this is what they're talking about. Like, they just have no concept of a game that's older than 5 years. Like, they're the type of people who power scale everything. Every game has to be the best. It has to look the best. If we consult the remake, let's see how the remake handles its rocket launcher. I recall people being very disappointed with how it looks. Just kind of that. It's, I mean, it's, you know what it is? It's serviceable. It's not, it doesn't stand out. It doesn't make note of itself. God, look at that. By the way, I think I'm just noticing this now. I think in-game there are more graphics settings than the screenshots that they're releasing. Hold on. I got to cycle through. There we go. Look at that. So that's the screenshot they released. And already, like, that's... There's some touching up there, and I'll get a good comparison shot so you guys can just see how rough that looks. They've changed the skybox. That's the problem. Is they changed the skybox so you can't quite get a good one-to-one comparison anymore. But like, you can already see there's some weird changes they've made. The base, it doesn't have a good rustiness to it. It doesn't look rustic or old anymore. Look at this. Look at these little rust patterns. This thing is sitting out on the ocean for 100,000 years. It's going to rust. And that's cool. It adds a sense of age to everything. But no, the new one, everything's a little different. Everything's shinier, bright and shiny. But here's an interesting thing. So that's the screenshots. That's one of the screenshots that they've released. Very high res, very nice. If we consult with the, look at that. That's the actual gameplay demo. Why is there like a yellow haze over everything? That's not compression. That's like in-game. How just hazy everything is. Is this like an option that you can turn on or off? It's supposed to be the sun, but the sun is like creating this just bright yellow-orange haze. Anyway, that's kind of all I really wanted to show off. There's not much else. The guy goes back to the same area. But it's, yeah, just kind of a very disappointing misunderstanding of how old Halo is supposed to look. I love being able to fly around because I can get a good view of the island. Look at that. It's hard to fly in this game. With the acrophobia skull, you like move forward in a direction. There's no, like, I can't do like cool camera pans. But yeah, just the game looks, you know, it's old graphics, 2001, blocky geometry, fairly basic textures for the time, but just a beautiful understanding of composition, color, environment design, skybox design, sound design. But yeah, this is something. Expect to hear a lot more about this when I eventually make my Halo campaign evolved review. I keep wanting to say campaign anniversary. I keep wanting to say that when that's not right. That's a different thing. But yeah, just something where I think I think we're going to see a lot of cope. I think we're going to see just a big push by people to make you seem like you're the crazy one. Like, oh no, this game actually looks good. This game looks better than you think. I actually like the new graphics. Thank you, Pat, for helping me there. Where is it? There we go. Just people don't seem to get it. They really just don't. They look at a new bright shiny thing, and that thing is better than the old thing. And there's no understanding. There's no desire to understand like why something looks better the way it does. And you know what? I think like it's okay. Like it's okay that some people just don't have that. Like some people will look at a painting. Some people will legitimately look at like a Vincent van Gogh and they'll go, actually, the stars don't actually look like that, Vincent. The stars don't have swirls. And churches don't look like that. That's proportioned badly. Make it look more realistic. There's some people who just don't have that understanding of art, I guess. Especially for video games. Video games is always a blind spot for people. That's the game, that's the medium where artistry is just sort of lost. People just don't really seem to care. I'm just going through. I don't have any of these. These aren't ordered, by the way, so I just have to kind of go through all of them. I don't do this professionally, chat. You may notice. My streams aren't as professional as Pat. They're not quite as well done as him. Recency bias, yeah, there's a lot of that. There's going to be a lot of FOMO. There's going to be people who say the new one is better just because of the new graphics. I love this tweet. I'm going to hold on to this tweet for a while. Just games aren't art to people. They're hardware. The way you'd upgrade your PC, that's the same way they see video games. It's a sports team. Think of that. These are people who, you know, think of art as like an MMA fighter. Like something has to be better than something else. That's their only like understanding of artistry, is something has to be the best. So yeah, I don't know what else there is to talk about. There hasn't been too much. Like there are like scattered cope tweets here and there. But yeah, it's just something where I don't think people understand. People don't understand, like, it's okay to have old graphics. It's okay that a game can stay old. You don't have to remake a game when it gets slightly old. Just leave it alone. I see Pat's still tweet. I see Pat coming out with new tweets right now. Also, is that you in here, Titus? Did I just see you in here? Did I really just see you? I saw you. How's it going, man? I think we're probably gonna wrap it up here. There's not much else to talk about. We went over the defenders. We went over some of the funny tweets. We did comparison shots. We actually opened the game. Did some comparisons ourselves. Man, I'm excited to make this video. I'm really excited to make my Halo campaign evolved video in a year. I'm excited. I'm ready, chat. I'm ready. It's you know what? If this is the last 343 game, which sadly it won't be, they're gonna trail off after this. They're gonna make like a free-to-play Halo live service game for sure, and then they're going to make whatever. They're gonna make some Halo 7. I actually don't know if they'll actually reach Halo 7. They might not. They probably won't. But yeah, in a year, hopefully, if this is the last 343 game, this would be such a fitting way to end it. To just make a game that lets people see just how little understanding you have of the original. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, everybody. I guess you guys all have nothing to do on a Sunday. I appreciate that. So I appreciate you guys listening to me as I ramble about nonsense. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll wrap it up here. You can tell I'm Minnesotan because I'm bad at giving goodbyes. So it kind of we trail off for like an extra 5 or 10 minutes. I don't know if we'll be doing this again. I'll have to, if they start releasing more content. That's the thing. It'll have to be a big release of new Halo news. That would make me do another stream. I feel these are good containment streams. They keep me from actually uploading and making like constant Halo videos on the main channel and clogging up the subscription feeds. So, my further predictions, if we go back to the predictions just one last time, because there's still some stuff that we have yet to see. AI, I think more stuff is going to come out about AI. They dropped that, and then they've kind of backpedaled it. I think we're going to learn more about how much AI is being used. My theory is that AI is being used as concept art. It's being used to direct the visual style of the game, and that's why we get Forerunner structures that look very just formless, that look identityless, that don't have like design language. Yeah, like this, like all the triangles. Like, I think that's my theory as to what AI is being used for. Otherwise, I still think we have time to see Ecker. I don't know if Ecker would be fully canceled. Here's my theory. Microsoft needs a multiplayer live service moneymaker. Even if it's shit, even if it's middling, they need something to draw in multiplayer scenes. Halo Infinite is not going to be that. They can't just keep relying on Halo Infinite for another 5 years. I think we're going to learn more about Eckers probably this year, and it's probably going to be slated for a 2027 release. That's my theory. But yeah. Lots of stuff did come true. Some stuff was debunked. And then there's lots of stuff that we still have to wait on. We've only seen a small snippet of gameplay, and it's releasing in 1 year. So, good God, I hope we're going to see more. Anyway. This is my ultimate hot take right here. Keep an eye out. Keep an eye out for people who are shilling the game right now. About a year after launch, within a year after launch, see if those same people are still touting it as a better remake, or if they've gone suspiciously quiet. And then rumblings of a Halo 2 remake that will never come to fruition. That's my ultimate conclusion to be made from all of this. All right. I'm going to go. You guys take care. I will see you. I don't know. I don't know when I'll see you guys again. If you guys like streams like this, I might do more of them. You clearly do. So, yeah, take care, everybody. Sorry that this stream was kind of messy. I definitely should have prepared it a lot better. As it was, we kind of just rambled. I definitely winged it. So, I'll do more of this. Whatever. You guys take care. Be on good behavior. I saw some weirdos earlier in chat. You guys take care of each other, okay? Be on good behavior. Be a good community. You guys are pretty good as is. All right. Good night, you guys. I'll see you hopefully soon. Ooh, quick. I'm going to work my ass off to get a video uploaded this week before Halloween. So it's honestly, it's up in the air if I can get it done before Halloween. I'm going to try. I promise you I will try. If not, sadly, it might be another post-Halloween game. So hopefully you guys can tolerate that. I'm sorry. But yeah, I'll see you again for Halloween, and then maybe more streams for Halo news. So whatever. Goodbye.